my name is Kayla Deshawn, and I have something to say. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, that thumbs up, and also hit that bell so you know when I drop some new content every Thursday, 8 p.m. We here and we get lit. If you old here and you returning, welcome back. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and pause and go hit that subscribe button for me. Also hit that thumbs up and hit that bell as well. Y'all, it is the second month of the year, y'all. We're almost a quarter through the new year. Isn't it crazy how time just did the dash like I did last week in my when I ran from the police? If you haven't seen that video, you should go watch that because it was really funny. But the year is flying by, y'all. My man, it is Black History Month. It's February. It's Black History Month. So happy Black History Month to everyone. And because it's Black History Month and it's also the last Thursday or the last week that I post within the month, I want to share with y'all some quick facts. I'm gonna be looking down for a few seconds to share with y'all. Did you know that the first successful open heart surgery was performed in 1893, which is a really, really long time ago, by a Black African-American surgeon named Dr. Daniel Hale Williams? Did y'all know that? First open heart surgery. That's crazy. We the first to do it. Also, in 1951, Henrietta Lacks cancer cells led to major discoveries in medical research. If y'all don't know about her, go ahead and Google her name because her cells are literally still being used today in today's world. And last but not least, scientist George Carruthers created inventions such as the ultraviolet camera, which was used by NASA, and in 1972 for the Apollo 16 for space and to discover the space and Earth's atmosphere. Y'all, our people did that. African American, Black, and brown people. That's really dope. So if y'all didn't know, go ahead and Google those names. You know, we might learn something new. To our Black and our brown babies, our young people, your skin is beautiful. Your skin, God made you so special. He added some extra razzle dazzle when he made y'all. Happy Black History Month. This month is dedicated to you. So happy Black History Month to everyone. So y'all, I just wanted to hop on here and chat with y'all a little bit, tell y'all a little bit about my week. My week is pretty chill. It didn't really do much except for work, school, the usual. Those that don't know, I am a senior at the Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold. I started off at Old Dominion, but now I'm at Norfolk State, so I'm finishing up there and I graduate in May. So I'm really excited about that. But I've just been working in school. But this week I was really talking to my husband about COVID. I work heavily with COVID in my job. I'm working in public health administration, HR realm of that. And so I'm really in COVID world day in, day out. And I'm talking to my husband, I'm like, yo, do you ever think COVID is going away? And I began to recount and remember when COVID first came on the scene, right? When COVID first came on the scene, my husband had got these speakers. He has like $4,000 speakers he had just got because he's a performer. He does music, poetry, he writes, he's super talented. And so he was gonna have this whole shebang going on. And then COVID came out the blue, y'all. And I just began to think about back to that time, where I was at during that time, mentally and just what was going on in my life at that time. And I just began to think about how, around the time that COVID hit, I had transitioned, I was getting a transition jobs or whatever. And so there was a time period where I was, unemployed for a little while. And so I remember, I'm the type of person where I always have to stay busy. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm looking up or down when I start talking or thinking about something, I tend to look away. I don't know why I do that. But I remember, I just know that I'm the type of person where I have to stay busy. I think my dad is like that too. I have to stay busy. I have to always be doing something productive with my time. I don't really like being idle for too long, or sometimes I'll begin to get really sad or just kind of like boggled down. But during that time period when I was like unemployed, besides school, there's not so much schoolwork you can do. And I feel like I had so much time on my hands and I was really like in the house staring at four walls doing nothing. Applying the jobs, doing everything I can. And I just felt so like stuck, like I didn't really have a purpose. We couldn't go anywhere because Miss Rona was out here running wild, and it was just a really interesting time for me. And I just began to think about how, for a lot of people, Corona, this pandemic has really had a negative impact, And, some say it's permanently changing our lives forever. We'll never go back to the same world we once knew, with not wearing a mask and just being able to go free willy-nilly. We have to worry about vaccinations and masks and 6 feet and all this other hoorah hoopla. But, who knows what the future may hold or what it doesn't hold. I'm not sure, but I know during that time, I was at home. I couldn't go anywhere. I'm like stuck, feeling like I just can't do anything. And I began to get really sad. It's like natural for me. If I'm like stuck, not doing something for too long, I will get sad, right? And so during that time, I started to really become sad. Like I'm just stuck in the house with me, God, and my thoughts. You know what I mean? Began to think about different things and just pondering a whole bunch of stuff. And during that time period, I discovered that it wasn't really just that I, just like to stay busy for no reason. That's just how I am. But I discovered there was a deeper meaning to that. I discovered that in my idleness, there was unresolved issues that were really affecting me in my real life, affecting, how I respond to situations, affecting how I respond in my relationship and different things like that. And it was during that time, y'all, it was during that time that I realized, you know what, I think I need some help. You know what I mean? And people that know me knows I could be prideful in that area. I really struggle with reaching out for help. I really struggle with asking people for help because of just my past experiences. It's just not a good experience. I would rather suffer and figure it out by myself than ask someone for help. That's just how I've always been, just self-sufficient. I can do it on my own. I can figure it out. If I can't figure it out, I'm gonna just go without. Is that the healthiest mentality? No, because God put people in your life to help support you and help be there for you. So you should, use them to your advantage, to be just like you're there for them. They can be there for you, and it's okay to accept help. But during that time period, it's always been so hard for me. And so I just began to realize, like, you know what, these feelings of sadness, these overwhelming feelings of like, it was like coming in waves. And I'm just starting to think about different things. And I really began to sit and ponder about how I respond to certain situations, how I respond to, he wasn't my husband at the time, I don't think. He wasn't my husband at the time, I don't think, during that time. I'm not even really sure. But how I respond to my partner, those things are very strange for me. And so I'm just like, man, I need help. And so it was during that time when I realized I needed help. And so I reached out and I began to get therapy. I began to get therapy, and her name is Jamie. Shout out to Miss Jamie. If you're listening to this, thank you. But I reached out and I wrote myself into some therapy because I needed help. And one of the best decisions I could have ever made. Aside from cutting my hair, and I know my hair is like not short in this video because I'm having like a hair crisis right now, so we had to make it happen. But going to therapy, getting help, was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. And so I began to go to therapy, and I have been in therapy almost a year. I recently stopped going to therapy a couple of months ago, but I started going to therapy because I felt like I needed help, and it helped me. I was able to communicate and say what it is that's wrong with me. Most of it, Jamie didn't have to do much. I mean, I pretty much told her, like, this is what my problem is. I feel this and this and this. And now it was more so like me saying out loud what I'm dealing with, me saying, like, look, this is what's going on. I need a game plan. Let's figure out a game plan for how to accomplish and how to figure out A, B, C, D, F, G. And y'all, even though the pandemic was seen as something so negative, a blessing still came out of it. You know what I mean? I feel like now I'm able to communicate so much more better. Not just in general, because I'm a pretty good communicator, but when it comes to my partner, when it comes to figures of authority, you know what I mean? And me during that time, being a newlywed and dealing with so many different things, I was struggling to balance a lot of different things, struggling to find like my place in life. And, those that know me, I grew up in, a very interesting household, like yes ma'am, no sir, like what the parents say goes, you know what I mean? And so as I grew older, it was a little hard for me to make that distinction of like, I'm now my own individual, I'm now my own, household. And so like figuring out like, okay, a balance between being an adult, respecting my parents, and et cetera, et cetera. It was just a lot, at least for me, it was a lot during that time. And balancing everything else. But therapy helped me, and Miss Rona, she was running rampant. She's still running rampant now, not as much though. The cases are going down, but something good came out of that, y'all. And I realized I had to ask for help. I had to acknowledge, like, look, something is not right. And y'all, they diagnosed me with severe to moderate depression or something like that, which I don't receive that, you know what I mean? I don't let those things define me, but I can acknowledge that I was dealing with some stuff and it was a problem. So it was during that time that I realized that not only was I dealing with a lot of stuff, I was dealing with things that I had kept bottled in for years. You know, when things happen, when different traumas happen, different major situations, hurt, you know, rejection, abandonment, whatever the case may be, when those things happen, I've always bottled them up because I realized that as a kid, I've never really had the chance to really process or respond, if that makes sense. So I was years, and I'm now in adulthood, never have dealt with, acknowledged, or responded to anything that's happened from this age to this age. And I was able to sit down in between me and my therapist, like, you know what? All this stuff bottled up, all this stuff that I never dealt with, you know what I mean? That I just bottled up and kept it trucking, and I consumed my time with being busy and being productive, which in reality I was just really running from my problems, because in a resting state, I realized I was always sad, just kind of boggled down, million and one things running through my brain. Okay, what can I do to help this? What can I do to help this? But can't even help myself. So during that time, y'all, I figured out how to help myself. I was praying, like, God, please help me, because something is going on. I'm realizing, like, I got too much time on my hands and I don't know what to do. It was just a lot to the forefront because I didn't have anything to distract me during that time. And I just realized I had bottled up so many things, different traumas, many different situations and things that I really didn't even know that I felt an issue. I really feel like it's really important to talk about, you know, mental health, to talk about acknowledging, you know, things you go through, talk about getting help, and to the ones that, you know, are a pole, not a pole, but a pillar of strength to everyone else. It's really true. Some of us, we really be the ones that really be struggling, thugging it out, but struggling, you know what I mean? And so therapy helped. For example, trauma, when it came to trauma, one of the things that I had bottled up that I really realized was affecting me in my relationship with my partner is fear of abandonment, you know what I mean? And not just from, you know, one person, but people who I held at high esteem, people who I truly, and I love everybody. I mean, I love strangers off the street, you know what I mean? But people who I really held in high esteem, close to my heart, who I felt like they'll never leave me. This is my A1s, day ones, this is so-and-so, whatever. Those same people left for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Whatever their reasons were, in, you know, whether or not they left me per se or whatever, I felt like they left me, you know? And it didn't just happen once, it happened multiple times. And then one major time that really truly affected me, and I realized, you know what, I have a problem with abandonment. I feel like everyone's gonna leave me, and whatever the case may be, and that really affected me in my relationship. And I realized, like, I'm expecting my partner to leave me. I'm expecting this man to leave. I'm like almost like anticipating and keeping myself in a ready state to receive bad news, to receive like, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I can't do this anymore, it's over, whatever. So I struggled with being able to fully even enjoy that time, enjoy my relationship, enjoy, you know, receiving love, genuine love from someone that's never shown me anything different. I just kind of want to share that little bit of peace with you all, and to really just encourage you guys that things that may seem like a really sucky situation, and even some things that may be a permanent change in your life, it could be a death, you know, God forbid, it could be a separation of friendship, a separation of a certain type of relationship, whatever it may or may not be, and it could be permanent. It doesn't always have to be bad. You know what I mean? Just because something changes or something is different, it doesn't mean that it's bad. And so I encourage you guys to find the silver lining, find, okay, you know what? It's looking like some straight lemons right now, but I'm going to choose to make it lemonade. I'm going to see what I can do. What can I pull from this? What can I gain from this? What can I learn from that? You know what I mean? And really understand and really take into account, if something is happening, y'all, is for a reason. God is intentional. I don't know if everybody on this platform believes in God, but I do, and he's proven to me to be sure and true. But I choose to believe that everything happens for a reason, that everything is intentional. And so when we adapt that mindset, I'm not going to say it's easier, but I know for me, I'm able to be like, you know what, this sucky thing really just happened, and it may be temporary and it may be permanent, but I'm going to find and see what can I take from it. What's a good thing that's coming from this? And you know what? Okay, cool. It happened for a reason, so I gotta trust the process and thug it out. Not just thug it out where you're barely making it, but I'm gonna thug it out in the sense of I'm gonna push through, but I'm also gonna, you know what, I'm gonna use my resources. I'm gonna use my resources that God has given me, whether that's your friends, whether that's your family, whether that's a therapist, whether it's a book, whether it's working out, whether it's, you know what I mean, you journal, you have a blog, you express, whatever it is that you need, these different resources that are put around us. I know for me, God has blessed me with a really, really strong support system. My friends, you know what I mean, who are really my family. You know, I say all that to say that, y'all, I love y'all. I just want to encourage you guys that no matter what you're going through, no matter if everything is going good in your life, awesome. If everything's going wrong in your life, it's okay and it's going to pass. You know what I mean? It's going to pass, and just know that it's happening for a reason. And so in the back of your head, I want you to keep in your head, like, you know what? I don't know why it's happening, but what can I take from this? You know what I mean? Like, Lord, I don't know why you let me and my family get sick during this pandemic. God, Lord, I thought you had us covered, because that's how I was thinking when me and my family got sick. But I'm like, man, what happened? But I'm like, God, it could have been worse. God, I could have been dead. You know what I mean? I could have been, you know, in the hospital somewhere, but I was sick and able to be home and still able to breathe and still have full capacity of my lungs. And so I say all that to say that be encouraged, to be encouraged, and that I hope that, you know, a little bit, I want to share a little bit of me with you, and I hope that that encouraged you all. I hope that it shed a little bit more insight about me, how I am as a person, how I perceive things. I really do try to stay positive, and so I really encourage you guys to stay positive and know it's hard. It can be very, very hard, and it really takes a mindset, like a constant thing in your brain. When negativity starts to try to creep in, delete. When people start talking, delete. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to relax. You know what I mean? Which is why I always stand 10 toes behind what I say. Be careful who you keep around you. If those people are not pushing you to do better, if they're not promoting positivity and love, and all you get from them is negativity, you need to separate yourself from them. You know what I mean? The Bible even talks about come out from amongst them and be ye separate. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't meant to eat at your table. Everybody is not meant to be around you. Come out from them. Be separate. It's okay to be different. You know what I mean? And so keep that in your mind. What's your support system looking like? Who do you go to when trouble arises? Does more trouble stem from you talking to them? Or what? Are they able to calm you down, able to bring you to a state of, you know what, let's talk about this, let's figure out a solution, you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that, you know, you guys enjoyed this story time. I hope that you guys felt the love, because I truly do love each and every single one of you. I hope that you guys are encouraged. I hope that you guys are encouraged that no matter what is going on, there is something good on the horizon. There is still something good that you can take from it, even in the movies you watch. So I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Black History Month. Spam the comments down below. Happy Black History Month. And also remember, you might guys want to keep tuning in, because I definitely have something very special planned for you guys. We are almost at 100 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who has commented, who has watched, who has, even if you didn't subscribe, if you just even tuned in and heard, and you took the time out of your day to listen to anything I've had to say. Thank you. I don't take it for granted. I love you, and I'm sending you big hugs your way, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Thursday, and I will see you guys again next Thursday, every Thursday at 8 p.m. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Bye.